crush a submarine.
Oh, Steve Owen, DI Steel, Murder Squad.
Giving a pigsty a bit of a makeover, and a collie who just loves the car. Barking Mad is next, here on BBC One. And over on BBC Two in a moment, the two fat ladies are called to the bar.
Tonight at 9, BBC News reports the latest evidence of the atrocities committed against the Kosovo Albanians. And with 3 hours to go for Serb forces to pull out of southern Kosovo, we'll be speaking live to the NATO commander there, General Sir Mike Jackson. Plus, William Hague sacks his deputy. Join me at 9.
To help them to change into an attractive female is part of my enjoyment of life.
Great transformations.
You just cannot tell if a person is telling the truth.
Great expectations.
So, say I'll be round at 7 and show up at 11, because that doesn't really cut it with me.
Paddington Green, tomorrow 10:20, BBC One.
Fire broke out in the auditorium.
Investigating the present.
I must determine who has died, when, how, and where.
Caldwell was a violent professional criminal.
One woman rebuilds the past.
I'd like to take things a step further. Someone out there knows him.
Silent Witness. Tonight at 9:30 on BBC One.
Douglas at last has a night to remember in Kate's flat, but it's not quite as he imagined. That's in half an hour here on BBC One, after Barking Mad.
On tonight's show, caught on home video, Basil the bucking bronco.
Cosworth, the aggressive collie. No, he's definitely not smiling.
And Big Sal finds pig heaven.
Welcome to Barking Mad, the show that aims to bring harmony to the relationships between pets and their owners. With a huge team of experts on our side, we can solve even the most prickly of problems.
Well, it's finally happened. Today I'm going to meet a dog who's as mad about cars as I am. I can't wait. He's a border collie called Cosworth, who owns, sorry, slip of the tongue, lives with John and Paula and shares their obsession for all things automotive, even this old wreck. No problems there. We can get him in, that's for sure. Well, apart from the fact that he's not wearing a seatbelt, which is a huge no-no, everything so far seems normal. Getting him in may have been easy, but the much-loved mutt becomes the backseat beast when it comes to getting him out again. Right, let's see what happens now. I want you to just get him out as normal, okay? Just behave completely normally, forget the fact that we're here.
Come on, Fuzzy, please.
Right, come on out. We don't want to push him any further. That is horrendous, okay? I mean, clearly that kind of behaviour is totally unacceptable, okay, from his point of view, but also from your point of view.
I mean, look at him now. It's like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth because nobody's in there actually trying to get their hand on his collar and get him out of the car.
The good news is that it is potentially solvable. Right, okay. Good. You've adopted this puppy, you brought him home. Cosworth, great name for a dog. People who like cars, fantastic to be named after one of the world's most famous engines. I'm really with you there. Absolutely ludicrous name in terms of trying to train a dog, but a great name that he's named after an engine.
Cos.
Cos. Well, that's better. That's fine. But what happened?
I don't know. Really, I don't know. I've got to say about 3 years ago, when he started to sort of get a bit of a resistance to wanting to get out the car.
How difficult is it?
It's very frustrating. It's just... Yeah. I mean, if he runs out the house, which he always does, straight into a car, great, you know, you're happy. Off you set off down the road, and then you realise, right, I just want to stop at a petrol station, stop, something like that.
Your heart sinks.
Yeah, and you think, crikey, you know, people are going to be looking. If I've got to physically get him out, I turn around, check he's got his lead on. If I haven't, I have to drive down the road, put his lead on him. You know, why I'm sort of going, because if I stop the car, he starts going ballistic front to back.
I think it sort of takes the edge off any enjoyment that we might have going somewhere with him.
We've got to resolve that. It's going to take a considerable amount of effort, because you've got to completely change the whole way you live with Cozzy.
Okay.
The whole way you deal with him. Okay, and you've got to really, really work as a team. You're going to need a lot of guidance, and it's very fortunate because I know just the woman for the job, and we brought her all the way from California. You've got a special Californian shrink, mate, all right?
Meet Masimbu. He's a wild pig from Indonesia called a barbaroussa, and he lives here at Colchester Zoo with his mate Sal. There's a huge debate about whether pigs love to be dirty or love to be clean. Well, we're fairly sure that these lovely wild pigs like to be dirty. In fact, you know, it's a peanut. In fact, we're so sure that today we're going to give them a huge treat. And it's not just peanuts, is it? Aren't you beautiful? Is your name Claudia Schiffer? Like all pigs, wild or domestic, they like to spend their day wallowing in mud and foraging for food. There are an extraordinary number of pet pigs in Britain, and not all of them live in the best conditions.
They're intelligent animals. Their intelligence is almost as akin to that of a dog, so they need to have stimulus.
So what are we going to do today?
We're going to attempt to build them a mud wallow with a little canopy roof so that if the sun is really, really hot, they can escape underneath it, and also build them 2 foraging areas as well.
We're on a mission to provide these pigs with their idea of heaven. Now, here's the Barking Mad guide to building a pig mud wallow. You need stones, mud, and some more mud.
Right.
Do you think that when we fill this up with water and everything, they're just going to come leaping in and dive in or not?
It's the million-dollar question. They might do. He's shown quite a lot of interest each time we go out.
This is my very interested look.
Yes, you can have one.
Now for that roof. Bob is the zoo chippy and I'm his mate.
Behind your ears, that's it?
Yeah.
Philippa, you've got a very disappointing builder's bum.
I'm meant to be looking at me, bum. Go back to your pigs. Let's get back to the point. The roof will provide some much-needed shade for the pigs. They hate the sun and prefer dark, dank environments, but then they do suffer from delicate skin.
If their skin's getting dry, and you can see on the back of Salad Jar here, she's got slightly flaky skin. What we're trying to do is...
A little bit of dandruff here as well. In between the stubble, it's very stubbly, their skin.
We apply sometimes E45 cream to them just to soften and supple the skin a little bit for them. But I think the mud wallow and the shaded area will go a long way this year to help alleviate this problem.
Yeah. Oh, this is great. Luckily, the thatched roof comes already rolled. Right. Now for the finishing touches. This must be the biggest straw doormat in the world. Everything is finished, and he's waiting for the final touch, the water. Look, here it is! Come and play. Now, you're meant to like the mud wallow. Obviously not muddy enough yet for him.
In he comes. Just takes a bit of getting used to.
Oh, he likes it. You like it? Now, this is how these pigs should spend most of their time wallowing in mud. In the wild, they actually find most of their food in mud. Here, it's full of worms and insects, and Keeper Tony has chucked in some peanuts for good measure. Their fantastic sense of smell helps them root out anything worth eating. Oh, quick, run. No, that's great. Oh, look. Do you think they like it?
I think they like it. It'd be a little bit of a case of getting used to it for a while, but I think that's a good response. He's certainly been digging in and foraging about in it.
It's a romantic wallow for two, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
It's been a long day's work as well, hasn't it?
It has, but it's all worth it. If they're going to use it and they're happy with it, it's well worth it.
It is indeed.
Back with Cozzy, the car-crazy canine, and behaviourist Jerry Omlo is now on the case. You'll be familiar with this ancient training technique. It's called bribery.
Right, John, what I'd like to do is work from the positive, rather than the yanking and the jerking out to get him out. As you can see, I've got lots of toys, and I've got some cheese in my hands, and we're going to try and lure him out in a positive way, because that will help you from getting bit.
Cozzy's not that interested in the food treats, but like most border collies, he loves toys and he loves to play. But then he also loves cars. He's tempted, but not yet convinced. Neither is John.
What alarms me then, obviously, he's not showing a lot of interest, but he sort of started to bare his teeth, even then, when you were offering him a toy, which, you know, I'm not sure about.
He doesn't want to come out, because this is my car.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Okay, John, that's not going to work. Let's take our toys and go have some fun.
Okay.
Come on, let's go. Play. Come on. Lots of fun. Come on, have fun. Lighten it up. Yeah!
It's time to up the ante, and who better than Jerry to inject some high-octane enthusiasm. It's fair to say that John feels a bit of a wally, but as far as Cozzy's concerned, his owner has suddenly become Mr. Cool, the kind of guy that just can't be ignored.
What's this? Show it to him. What's this?
Come on, Coz. Ready?
Throw it, throw it, throw it, throw it, throw it. Good boy. Go. Yes, yes. Bit hard, but yes. Don't let him in the car.
Don't let him in the car.
No, he's not going in the car. Good boy.
Border collies are very, very bright dogs, and keeping them happy is a real challenge for their owners. Although Paula and John love him to bits, they've not given Cozzy the kind of leadership or lifestyle that he really needs.
The car problem is a symptom.
Right.
Is only a symptom. The main crux of the difficulties is the fact he's a dominant dog, right. And we need to promote yourself, demote him, yeah. And I want to teach you how to think like a dog, and especially think border collie.
Right, so you want me to get excited about sheep?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cozzy's not a nasty dog by nature, but in certain circumstances has learned to use aggressive behaviour to control his owners and get his own way. In shrink speak, it's time to restructure their relationship. Jerry has a plan.
Okay, John, you might not like this, but for the next 10 days, Cozzy stays out of the car.
So you mean don't take him to work, but from 7 in the morning then till half 7 at night?
Yes, because I want you to teach him that there are more things in life than that automobile. Okay?
Clearly, John's still not convinced, but is prepared to give it a go. The new regime involves giving Cozzy much more exercise and really working hard to improve his basic obedience. It's not easy. Paula's always on hand with wifely words of encouragement.
What can I do?
Play with him. Throw it for him. Don't just hold it. Throw it the other way.
Oh, Coz, come. Cozzy, sit. Cozzy, wait. Go on then, get it.
Say okay then.
Yes.
Did you?
I said go on then.
You need to keep doing that.
I'm not convinced it's going to work.
Why?
I don't know, because it's going to be so easy for us to revert back, I reckon. Certainly it is for me. I don't mind doing all the exercise and doing all the extra stuff that they told us to do, nor do I mind not taking him to work. But I mean, when can we go back to giving him cuddles?
We can.
We can never ever.
Yeah, but we can when we want to. That's the thing. That's the difference. That's the biggest difference, is that it's on our terms, not his.
Okay.
Oh, you're stroppy tonight, John.
Don't you just hate it when your wife's always right?
I am, I know.
It's a well-known scientific fact that many pet cats are snack feeders. They like to eat little and often, as and when they feel like it. But when it comes to self-service, some cats take the biscuit, and the sardines, and the cheese.
This is Jerry Robson. He's part of our family. He's like a child to us. But unfortunately, he's upsetting the household by his behaviour. He's helping himself to food. Not necessarily eating it, he's just pulling it out of the fridge. The children, to start off with, were being blamed for leaving the fridge door open. The fridge door's been left open, there's no prawns left. Samantha, was that you that left the door open?
I was shut the door.
What about you, Katie?
It wasn't me, eh? I was shut it. Anyway, I didn't like prawns.
Well, if it wasn't you two, then it must have been you, Paul.
Yeah, it must have been you. It's not fair because we always used to get the blame.
Yeah, and we like prawns and so does he.
He always gets there first.
He particularly liked prawns, which is what we like in the family. Also chicken, the sandwiches that the children have made for their packed lunches for school the next day, packets of cheese, sausages, bacon, any cold meat.
Yeah,
Well.
yeah. Look at that.
Jerry, get away from there now! Right, Jerry Robson, here's the lock on the fridge to stop you getting in the fridge. And if you do manage to get in the fridge because we've forgotten to lock it, you know what that's for? That'll spray you to keep you away. And down there, we'll stop you getting into the cupboard for your cat biscuits. You're a good boy, aren't you? No.
3 weeks later, Cozzie's back in the car and John's gobsmacked that he's back in charge.
I just got a lot more control. It was hard at the start, getting used to sort of ordering him about first, but now it's just a different dog.
And a much happier one at that.
Ready? Go on then. Okay. Fuzzy down. Okay.
He's much more responsive to us. So we knew that he knew what sit meant and what down meant and all of those sort of things. But he didn't do it. He just, you know, we didn't ask him to. Now we tell him to, and he does. He's fantastic. It's amazing.
Okay. Fuzzy down. Down. No, it's good. It's definitely a lot happier. Isn't he? A better dog all round. A+. Fuzzy down.
If this series has got you thinking and you'd like to know more about animal behaviour therapy, then there is a Barking Mad booklet. To obtain your copy, send a cheque for £4 made payable to BBC Education at Barking Mad, BBC, PO Box 7, London W12 8UD. Or you can order one by credit card by calling us on 0990 100 789.
At some point, it's nearly every girl's dream to own a pony. It still is mine. But sadly, the reality doesn't always live up to the dreams.
Well, it has done for these two. And for this chap. Ah, there you are, Basil. You're the one with the problem. Just look at this home video.
Oh, what a very naughty little boy.
These two adore him, but it's only a matter of time before one of them gets seriously hurt.
He's horrible. You can tell when he's going to do it, because he gets all moody and jumpy. I don't care how he is, I still like him.
Basil is now 10 and has been deliberately dumping his cargo for years. There's nothing physically wrong with him. He's had the all clear from his vet, and his saddle and tack have also been checked. Horse whisperer Kelly Marks gets to grips with Basil while I get down to yet more DIY.
And you tread on people, I hear.
It's amazing what you can do with a few bits of quake lagging.
He doesn't get to go out in the field every day.
Taking shape, love.
So sometimes he just has to stay in the stable all day.
Yeah, and sometimes he goes out in the field.
I'm going to send him away round the paddock and just get to know him a little bit better.
Beautiful. Ta-da! What do you think, eh? Good enough to dance with. Having spent a little time working with Basil in hand, Kelly begins a process that she calls a join-up.
I'm chasing him away because I just want him to take me seriously a minute.
Basil soon learned that if, when Kelly turns off the pressure, he stops running and walks towards her, she's actually very nice to him. They quickly develop some mutual respect and a working partnership. This is absolutely amazing, but just because it's called horse whispering doesn't mean it's magical or mystical or anything, because what Kelly's doing is exactly what all the behaviourists do on this programme, and that's to bother to do two things. One is to bother to understand the animal from the animal's point of view, and second is to bother to communicate with them in their own language. It might be called horse whispering, but it's actually a very simple process.
And that's so important when you have animals, that you should be friends first of all. Okay, good boy.
What's the plan now?
Well, we just need a rider now.
Ah, rider, Vanessa. She's only just had her tea though, so she's completely stuffed. I'll see if she's all right.
Right.
Hello.
Oh, wow. What do you think of that, Basil?
What do you think of my rider whose head's nearly come off?
Wow, dirty joggers already.
Yeah, very dirty. We want to see what Basil's like carrying a rider who doesn't pull, yank or kick. It's very possible that one of the reasons Basil bucks is because he's learned that bucking is a very successful way of relieving the discomfort caused by inexperienced or over-enthusiastic riders. You may well laugh, but notice that Basil hasn't tried to buck Vanessa off. She may be a dummy, but as far as Basil's concerned, Vanessa's the perfect passenger. Well, nearly.
You feel okay, you sure?
Having worked with Basil some more, Kelly thinks it's time for Laura, the more experienced of the two riders, to get into the saddle.
Pull him round, gently.
Come on then, Emma, it's your go. Emma is only 9, but she's mad about riding and is desperate to help Basil. Now, are you happy to do it? Yeah? You sure? Yeah. You've been watching Laura go round? Yeah. Okay. Mum keeps a close eye on things. Right. We're set?
Okay, let's go. Get my dress on. Good.
Oh, you just headbutted me.
Turn round. And let's do a little canter up here. Come on, let's have a little go. But sit up.
A great first day, but it's only the beginning. There's a lot more to do. Emma needs to polish up her riding technique by having good instruction on other ponies. Basil, on the other hand, needs lots of schooling by experienced, sensitive riders who can help build positive associations in his mind about being ridden, and he needs to get out more.
Yeah, he's really good. Are you going to remember everything we've said today?
3 weeks on, and here's their home video update.
This way, Emma.
Emma has clearly worked hard to improve her relationship with Basil on the ground, an essential part of good horsemanship that so many young riders ignore in their mad scramble to get into the saddle. They're not all the way there yet. There are bound to be some setbacks, but these two are now becoming a real partnership.
Meanwhile, the daily walk for 7 very muddy dogs on a very damp day. I'm with Samantha Dearman, who by her own admission is canine mad. She owns 3 German Spitz, 3 Keyshounds and a Golden Retriever.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. All present and correct.
She obviously loves her dogs, so what could possibly be the problem?
The 2 loves in my life are my dogs and music. Unfortunately, the 2 do not now mix.
As soon as the music starts, the dog starts.
That's very low.
This is Keisha just behind me.
That's Keisha just behind you, yes?
She's the one that starts them all. If you can't beat them, join them. Let's get them out of here.
So cue the entry of dog trainer Andy Cook. Will he be able to save our eardrums?
Classical music there to keep, keep us all entertained. But the entertainment came from a different source.
So who is it that's making all of this racket then?
That's the offender.
Right.
That's Keisha.
Does she do it to all sorts of music?
Mainly classical, soundtracks on films, adverts.
I wonder if she likes Offenbach.
I'm just making your life hell, isn't it?
Absolutely.
She's got no eardrums left.
No.
You all right over there?
About 2:30, dear. There's always one, isn't there?
I think it's about time Andy heard what we're going on about, don't you?
Do you really want to do this?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
It's an immediate reaction. Anyone got earplugs? Now, we can't help laughing, but to be honest, it is driving Sam potty. It's got to the point she can't have the telly or radio on in case there's music. This is going to be a tough one for Andy to crack.
Concentrate her mind in this room on something other than the sound of what's going to be on the music. Okay, so we'll get her onto this mat place so she knows if I'm sitting or lying down here, settled and quiet, then I'll get some reward.
But will it work with the music? Andy wants music on in the house as much as possible from now on. Hopefully Keisha will get sick of it. With the music down low, all goes well. Andy keeps going with the clicking and the treats. Keisha doesn't even notice the music. She soon catches on to the clicker meaning food and stays nice and quiet. If she so much as opens her mouth to howl, Andy has a shock in store for her. But as the volume increases, she starts, and Andy uses a rattle instead of the click and whisks her off to the kitchen for 2 minutes time out. It's a sort of go-to-your-bedroom training.
That was as high as that tape recorder would go, just to show you what to do.
Right.
But she's been doing really well. She has with that. Are you surprised that she...
Very. I'm surprised she tolerated it that long.
Yeah.
Without giving into it, yes.
She could definitely hear it, and she was definitely concentrating on her training.
Yes, she was.
So that's a good start, and that's something for us to build on.
Now, all that sounds very encouraging.
Oh, you clever girl. Yes.
But will Sam be able to keep it up without Andy's guidance?
Yes.
Just like people, some animals are very particular about who they get close to. This cow only has eyes for the farmer.
This is Veenie Lindy Moonbeam, and she is a cow with a big attitude problem. She will start knocking you with her head and walking towards you, and then she suddenly starts running, and if you don't move, she will squash you up against the gate. She really just wants to attack you. Did you get that? Oh, you got that. But she just loves my husband and has never attacked him. I've always said that he loves his cows more than me, and I think she proves it.
Oh, she's just another cow in the herd to me. She's never given me any trouble. Perhaps I'm a bit more of a disciplinarian than the rest.
She's just in love with him, and she's a very jealous lady. I think it's almost a fatal attraction.
You want to take hands? Yes. Good girl. I don't think there's another cow that I can pick her foot up like that.
Just give her a kiss on the cheek.
I'm not a kissy sort of person, thank you.
Back to Keisha and her music aversion therapy. Owner Sam has been getting on really well. This is her home video. Keisha's got the idea of sitting quietly on the mat, and Sam's even managed to be strict when she had to be.
Right. Oh, let's go.
3 weeks later, and time for a second visit from trainer Andy. The truth is, with the clicker and the treats, Keisha's soon forgotten about howling. Peace has been restored. Sam is now able to enjoy her favourite pastime with Keisha by her side and the music on.
Right. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Andy.
Hello there, Keisha. Move along the bus. So, how's it all been going?
Absolutely brilliant. And now I can actually have the radio on all day. while she's in the house, rather than being banished to the kitchen, I can actually drive my car with the radio on, which I couldn't do before. So obviously, again, that is a big bonus. And everybody's happy.
What more can I say? Well done, Keisha. Well, that's it from another Barking Mad. If you think your pet has lost the plot, then get in touch with us at Barking Mad, BBC, PO Box 229, Bristol BS 99 7JN. We love getting your videos, by the way, and thank you very much for the huge response we've had so far. See you next time.
Next week, this German Shepherd dog is beyond help, or is he?
We give Honey the hamster a luxury new home.
And we go surfing with Partex, the Jack Russell.
Very cute puppy coming up. It's Mel's birthday present and it's supposed to be a surprise. Kiss Me Kate next here on BBC One. Over on BBC Two, turning spiral staircases into garden furniture. The antique show's about to start. See the life of a wild bird through the lens of a webcam. That's on BBC Online at www.bbc.co.uk/Animal Zone.
You're a liar.